Konnichiwa. Welcome to Taste Prep. Today, we're making our own chocolate bar from scratch. You can add any toppings that you like. Once you know how to make this, you will never go back to the store-bought chocolate. I guarantee you. So let's get started. This is what you need for making your own chocolate bar from scratch. You will need 1/3 cup of cacao butter, 1/3 cup of cacao powder or cocoa powder of your choice, 3 tablespoons of sugar of your choice. Today I'm using maple syrup, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, a pinch of salt, and for topping, you can choose anything. Today I'm using freeze-dried berries and bee pollen. And to hold chocolate bar, you will need a pan and parchment paper. For double boiler, you will need a pot or skillet with water and heat-resistant glass cup. We are ready to make our own chocolate bar from scratch. So I'm going to start with the boiling water. You want to prepare a skillet or pot deep enough to hold this one heat-resistant cup. It should be a glass. And once it starts boiling, I'm going to add cacao butter into this glass cup. And it starts melting, so you want to make sure you melt all the butter in here. So it may take a couple minutes, so we'll be back. So the water has been boiling and the cacao butter is just about to be completely melted. So keep stirring until it's completely dissolved. And once it's done, it is completely melted. I'm going to turn the heat off. Take this glass cup out from the pan or pot. Make sure it's maybe hot, so be careful. It's a golden liquid, just like a butter. Now I'm going to add maple syrup. And stir well. So if you're adding sugar, make sure they are completely dissolved. Maple syrup is easy because it's a liquid. Now we're going to wait for a couple minutes until it's cooled down a little bit. So we'll be back. Now I'm going to add my cacao powder. I just happen to have cacao powder today, but if you only have cocoa powder, you can certainly use the cocoa powder as well. The difference between the cacao powder and cocoa powder is that cacao powder is considered raw and it's processed in a lower temperature, and cocoa powder is roasted in high temperature. So if you want to keep it raw chocolate, you can certainly use the raw cacao powder. Gonna stir very well. Now starting to look like melted chocolate already. And it dissolves very easily. Now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now I'm adding a pinch of salt. And stir again. Now I'm going to get this pan out with the parchment paper. And this is where the chocolate goes. So once you start pouring, it'll stay down. Okay. If you don't have a small pan, you can use the big pan also. As long as the chocolate stays on the parchment paper, it doesn't matter what size of pan you use. Okay. And now I'm going to spread this chocolate evenly. Just move it around. That's so that it stays in a pan just like regular chocolate would look like. A rectangle side. And move it around just so that make it even. All right, so it looks like this. Now it's time to add any topping of your choice. So I happen to really like this freeze-dried berries. So I'm going to add those in here. Just spread it around. So this is about 3 tablespoons of dried berries. You can add nuts and dried fruits, any dried fruits of your choice as well. So that was about 3 tablespoons. Okay, now I'm going to add the pollen also. Just has a sugary taste, and I like the flavor. And it looks pretty too. So that was about 1 teaspoon of bee pollen. Okay. Now wait for about 30 minutes, and then you're going to wrap it and put it in the freezer. The reason you wait for about 30 minutes is so that the chocolate becomes room temperature and it doesn't sweat in the freezer. So I'm going to use beeswax wrap, but if you don't have it, you can certainly use the saran wrap. Put it on top of the chocolate after 30 minutes and wrap it. Then you're going to put this in the Ziploc bag. And then keep this in the freezer overnight. So this is the chocolate that I made last night. It was in the freezer overnight, and then I just broke the pieces with the parchment paper that I already had. And it doesn't have to be a perfect shape. This is the chocolate that you're going to love. So that's how you make your own chocolate bar from scratch. You can add any toppings that you like and you will love it. If you like what you saw, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the like button. See you next time. さよなら。